Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a brand new launch from McGrath. You guys already know what's coming. I'm talking about the Mothership for Decadence palette. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. This is just the package, you guys. But inside, we have this gorgeous palette. It looks just like all the rest. It has like that coffret almost kind of style, the beveled mirror on the inside, and these are what these shades look like. As with all the other palettes, you open up the box and all your shade names are inside. They are not in the palette. But before I go through all the swatches, my opinions, first impressions, that kind of thing, if you just want to see how I created this eye look, this is where that starts. So obviously this is the fourth in the line. She has three other ones. These here, I have all of them. I have to have them all. They are $125. I got mine from the McGrath website, but you can also get them at Sephora. If there's other places you can give them, leave it down below for everybody else wondering. But there is a big difference between this new Decadence and the other three. When I saw the pictures of this, I immediately thought what I'm about to say, but I wasn't for sure until I got it in the mail today. Opening this guy up, you can see there's no what I like to call special shades in here. Those are like the four at the bottom of all the other palettes that have a different texture to them. You use them wet and they just are amazing. They look like liquid metal. This formula is very different than those. I was hoping to see a few in here, but none of these are that formula. I'm going to go ahead and show you those in case anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about. This one here, all four of these down here have a totally different texture to them. These are special and they have a nice shift to them. They are gorgeous. And when you use them wet, they literally look like metal. And the gold in one of them looks just so sparkly and amazing. These also have matte shades in there that the new Decadence does not. All of the shades in here have a metallic finish to them. Reading from the Sephora website, it says it's $125, limited edition, like I said. And it says a decadent spectrum of pigmented shadows inspired by the opulence of precious stones. I really feel like you see that. These just look like jewel tones throughout. Presented in a luxurious lacquered case. I have to admit, I am a little bit disappointed that it doesn't have those special shades in there, but these are beautiful. These swatch gorgeous. They perform really well. I specifically used several different shades on my eyes to see if you could really get a blend of them, if they would stand out on their own or if they would muddy together. And I feel like they did a really nice job of standing alone, but they do blend well. I think these on their own, like if it was just on the lid all by itself, would really make a statement, especially if you use them wet, because I use these completely dry. And that's how I like to test a shadow like this is I know I can use a shadow like this wet, but I don't want to have to. I want a $125 shadow to perform without having to wet it with something like Fix Plus, and these do. I did end up with a little bit of fallout, especially with this inner corner shade and a little bit with the darker shade, which is not uncommon. Again, if you wanted to use them wet, that would almost eliminate it altogether. Now, before I get into the tutorial, I am going to go over the swatches of the shadows. I took a picture as well as a video, and I just put them all in one instead of row by row. So we have Gold Standard, Inferno, Blue Blood, Sinful, Underworld, Sterling, Lapis Luxury, Divine Meek, Hedonistic, and Enigma. All right, now we're going to go ahead and jump into the tutorial, and at the end, after the tutorial, I will go in and tell you guys my final thoughts on my first impressions. Wayne Goss number 16 and Anastasia Beverly Hills BIRKIN eyeshadow. I'm going to use this as my transition shade, bring it all the way to this inner corner and also out in a little V on the outer corner. I'm going to build that color up just a hair, only because I know the shades I'm going to use are a bit more dramatic, a little bit darker, so I don't want this to get completely lost. Goss number 19 in that same shade right beneath the lower lash line to help blend things out when we go in later. Goss number 17 and Dusty Rose. I'm going to use this shade to deepen up the crease, first in windshield wiper motions and then in soft circular motions to help blend it upward. that same shade again and running it a little closer to the lower lash line. Now I'm dipping into the Pat McGrath palette, and this is Blue Blood and a MAC 221, and this is way more pigmented than I had anticipated. So, laid down that color, and I'm going back in with the last brush I used, no additional product on it, the weighing glass number 17, and I'm just gonna blend that out. I was not anticipating that picking up that much product with a natural hair brush, but apparently it does, which I'm not complaining. I'm going to add a little bit more. I didn't really pick up any extra product. And I'm adding that to the outer V here. I learned my lesson. Go in with a small amount. I'm going to define the crease just a little bit more with just the excess. I'm going to take that shade and put a little bit on the outer V of my lower lash line. This is a MAC 221. MAC 242 and Inferno. I'm using that all on the center part of the lid, and this is dry, you guys. That is a gorgeous color. I'm going to layer it up just a little bit, but I'm not going to wet it. I'm going to touch up Blue Blood on this outer corner. Back in with the MAC 242 and Sinful on this inner corner. I'm packing it right on the inner corner, bringing it up, and then tapping over the last shade we did. Gold Standard and a Delium 780. I'm going to pop this right below this brighter inner corner. I just want to use gold down here. Weighing glass number 5 and Sterling. I'm going to pop this right on the very, very inner corner in between this shade and the gold. Going back in with the MAC 221, I'm taking Lapis Luxury. I just want to add this color in just for fun on the very outer V right here. I'm going to take a little bit more of Inferno and make sure that this blends. Gloss number 17, I'm taking just a hint more of Blue Blood, and I mean a hint. I'm just defining the crease a little bit more. And then I'm going to add some liner and lashes and be done. Alright you guys, I finished by lining my eyes using this LH Cosmetics Flash Crayon and Atria. I don't know. It is this beautiful royal blue with a shimmer to it. I thought it tied in really nicely with this look. Then of course, Kiss Ritzy Lash, and then I had to put a Pat McGrath lipstick on, Los Angeles, of course. So for me, I believe that these shadows performed very well. I love the colors that are in here. I think they're beautiful. I don't regret spending the $125 on this palette. However, it's not my favorite out of all three. Again, I do wish that it had those special shades in here, but the palette in of itself is special. It's beautiful. The quality of the shadows are fantastic. I really do love this palette. Now, would I suggest this to somebody? Honestly, I'm not sure yet. I haven't fully made up my mind on that. And the reason being is because I have this palette here. This is the Electro Pop from Kevyn Aucoin, another limited edition palette. And the only reason why I bring this up, because I know I'm comparing Pat McGrath to this, and really I'm not. I'm just saying that if you don't want to spend $125, there's actually a few shades in here that are quite similar, and I'm going to run a little picture across. I swatched the Pat McGrath first, and then the Kevyn Aucoin right beside it, so every first shade is Pat McGrath. You can get some really beautiful looks for not as much money. This is still expensive, but you're getting more shades in here. But the Pat McGrath is more special. If you don't want to spend a ton, this is an option, but the Pat McGrath is a better formula. If you're going to say to me something like, Mel, I only want to buy one Pat McGrath palette, it's not going to be the Decadence. I'm sorry, it's going to be this one. This one's my favorite. This is the one I get the most use out of. I did not anticipate this. I don't know why. This was my least favorite looking at, but I absolutely love it. Let me tell you the name, because I always forget the names of these. Okay, Complaint though, how do I know which one's which? I thought that these at least said the names of them. They don't. They say Pat McGrath Labs Mothership. It doesn't even tell me what they are, so you have to keep the boxes, otherwise you're SOL. It's the Mothership one. The blue, the Mothership one. If I was going to suggest just one, that one is my absolute favorite. I use it the most. All right, you guys, that is it for this first impressions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you picked up this palette. If you're not interested in it or you want to get it, let me know down below. I definitely don't regret it. It's beautiful. It really is. So, anywho, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.